Well, this is neat. One of my favorite episodes lands on my birthday month. We open on a lovely springtime outdoor scene, complete with a treasured pastime. Two grown men pointing pistols at each other while a third party tells them when to fire directly at each other. Adam's doing something that doesn't really sound like the usually cool, calm eldest Cartwright son. He's fighting in a duel over a girl. Honestly, the first time I saw this, it struck me how he would normally be the one to make fun of Joe for doing something like this. I'll remember that the next time you pick on your baby brother, sir. Okay, I'm sorry. Just put the pistol down. I'm just trying to be fair. Remember, it's this John Henry fellow you're mad at here, not me. The thing is, I have to point out when you mess up, or else the Joe gals come at me, and I'd much rather have you flaring those sexy nostrils at me than have Joe gals mad at me. They're a scary lot. Just kidding, Joe gals. You know I love you. Anyway, back to the testosterone firing squad. The other man, John Henry, fires at Adam and misses. Adam doesn't even aim the gun. He straight up walks over to him, looks him in the eye, and fires in the air. Probably killing some poor bird someplace. No one shoots like Gaston, makes birds poop like Gaston. Something chest hair. Okay, but imagine if he had at least scared the poop out of a bird and the mess had landed on John Henry's shoulder. Now that is revenge. Back to what really happened and not my sleep-deprived, under-caffeinated fan fiction. He tells old J.H. that he'll kill him next time he insults Sue Ellen Terry. Ben's face is just livid meanwhile. Hoss and Joe don't show too much of whatever it is they're feeling. We see a girl watching the show from the bushes behind them and can assume that this is the girl in question. After that theme gets done exciting us, we are treated to some post-duel lecturing courtesy of Pa back in the great room of the Ponderosa house. He's mad that Adam risked his life in a duel over a girl that Ben doesn't particularly find worthy. I imagine that the younger sons are hiding from the fireworks during this scene. Maybe betting on who's going to win like they do in The Savage. Adam pours them both a drink, then retorts with the whole, "But Pa, you did it, though." No one quips like Gaston counters Pa's fits like Gaston. Ben says, "Different time, different place. That was New Orleans, and there was a woman to marry to get that sweet little baby Joe. Also, we didn't see it yet, so it didn't happen. You can't prove nothing." Adam surmises that the duel isn't the problem. Ben admits that maybe he doesn't like the idea of his son dating a girl who's dating like 5 other guys. Based on recent and also future events, some of those other guys don't care for it either. Ben asks how serious Adam is about her. He says he doesn't know. Ben takes the opportunity to point out that she's whatever you can politely call the female equivalent of a womanizer, just like her big sis taught her to be. But Adam gets the last word, saying that some women are worth a lot of trouble. Ben watches him walk off, wondering what on earth possessed him not to leave that boy in New England. Let Captain Stoddard raise him and see how he turns out. We, of course, can't hear these thoughts because that episode doesn't yet exist. Back in town, Sue Ellen is at work in a saloon where she winds up sitting with the same guy who insulted her while she was out with Adam, resulting in the duel in the first place. We never find out what it was he said, but it must be something she's not too broken up over, because she's taking a massive apology payoff in the form of a necklace with more diamonds than, well, I've ever seen. I wonder what that says about my social life. Then she goes on about how she hurt him. He flat out asks if she's serious about Adam, and she doesn't give an answer. I sure hope Adam didn't fight in that duel because he loved her or anything. Yikes. Then we're traded to Adam getting ready for his next date with the notorious SET. He takes her on a picnic where she informs him that she likes to know she can please a man. Yeah, he's thinking the same thing, sweetie. The horses get more of the view than we do in an implied love scene that couldn't be shown on a nice family show like Bonanza. No one eats like Gaston, is made of hunky man meat like Gaston. Shortly before that, we get a glimpse of Sue Ellen seemingly trying to tell Adam how she really is and how true some of that talk about her is. He's not listening. His mind's on other things. Deep down, though, he knows already. When they head back after the hot and heavy love in the afternoon, an old drunk stalker named Dixie is at his post just outside the Terry house. He insults her, and Adam goes on the defense again. You'd think the guy would know better after the word of the duel hit the town water cooler. But oh well. This also is the first of 2 scenes which tell us that she doesn't discriminate by age when it comes to dating. Adam takes out the unwanted. Sue Ellen tries again, it seems, to tell him who she really is, and this time makes him promise not to hate her. Big Sis is waiting up and watching in the window, so Adam just settles for a kiss and takes off. Dixie watches him go and monologues about the lady's body count, like all bitter exes do. Hoss and Hop Sing battle over who can catch a chicken better, and Joe gets in a good chuckle as Big Brother dives into the poultry pool in an attempt to, catch one in his teeth or squish it or something. He then informs Joe that Adam's bringing his lady to dinner. Adam's back in town, ready to pick her up, and is dressed similarly to Joe. Sheriff Jesse Saunders is creeping and starts asking Adam to kiss and tell. Geez, oh man, where do they get these sheriffs? Roy Coffey must have had the easiest time ever getting the job after they get through with all these schmucks. I might just have to do a video about this someday. After Adam rightfully tells him to mind his own business and stop asking his friend's son about his sex life, Jesse decides to go talk to the other half of the equation. Sue Ellen Stalker is outside her house in broad daylight, and nobody bothers having him arrested for stalking. Instead of doing that, the sheriff bribes him with money for booze when Dixie points out that there's a major hole in Jesse's story about trying to get voters for the upcoming election. I'm sorry, I have to go there again. They even have elections. That means other, more competent men could have been sheriff. What's going on? Why do they keep electing these deadly do-no-goods? So, there's only women in the Terry house, and that's why Jesse's obviously lying about his reason for being there. Yet maybe if women could have voted, they wouldn't have had to wait so long to have the right kind of people running things. Okay, I'm done. Jesse and Amelia clearly don't have a good rapport, and this is the one time the whole episode that I feel like she might actually care about her sister. He threatens that something bad might happen to one of the young couple if they keep seeing each other. Amelia sneaks a drink from the bottle hidden on the mantel, then heads up to talk to Lil Sis, who is dancing to a song from her music box in her underwear. She helps her zip her dress up for dinner with the potential future in-laws. While doing so, she zips it too tight and nearly kills the girl. I wonder if that's foreshadowing. Amelia tries to talk her out of seeing Adam, and it remains ambiguous whether she's doing it because of Jesse's threat, or because she's trying to keep the girl in her place. Either way, Sue Ellen refuses to be kept where she is, and decides that she's going to marry Adam in order to get out of the rut she's in. Okay, so here's something I might change. There needs to be a scene where Adam actually implies to someone that he plans to marry her. Then we can be left to wonder if she's marrying him for love or for advantage. As it stands, Adam doesn't act like he wants to marry her even when he's asked how serious he is about her. Show us why she thinks she has a chance when she's dating all these other men along with Adam, and Adam never even acts like he minds it that much. If he wanted to marry her, he would certainly have told her he wants to be the only man from now on. The next scene gives me such secondhand cringe that I can barely look. At dinner, Sue Ellen lies about everything from where she grew up to what her father did for a living. Us and Joe look like I feel the whole time and never say a word. Ben just allows her to dig herself a hole deep enough to make a nice hobbit life. Maybe then she won't try to marry his son. Adam's clearly enamored with her and just smiles the whole time, even after she nervously dumps her wine in his lap. On her doorstep, she shows some initiative to change and make a better life for herself than what Amelia set her up with. She wants Adam to keep seeing her, but I'm still not convinced that she loves him. She asks if he'll come back, and he replies with, "Just try to keep me away," to which she then gets shot and successfully keeps him away. No, but he's arrested for her murder. He tries to leave and go after the killer, but Jesse has him conked on the head and thrown into a cell. Ben and the boys want to take him home, and Joe goes so far as to threaten to bust him out. Hoss keeps a rein on the kid, and Ben goes to talk to Adam in one of the sweetest moments between the two in the series. Purnell and Lorne chew this scene up like a Ponderosa steak. Adam admits that he knows she didn't love him, and that he was just trying to teach her what love meant. He cared for her, but he probably knew better than to marry her. At Ben's request, he lists off some other names to add to the list of loves in her life. He then tells his pa that there's a witness saying that he's guilty. Of course, it's good old Stalker Dixie. Seriously, not that a trial is ever mentioned in this episode, but a good lawyer could have thrown that out easily. Dixie spends his afternoon in the place Sue Ellen used to work in tribute to her by telling everyone a made-up story about how Adam killed her. John Henry sits in the back and listens. Some of the men ask why Dixie didn't try to stop the killing, and then they just accept it when he says there was no time. Amelia comes in to the saloon wearing a white dress and Lily Munster makeup. She asks John to buy her a drink and then blackmails him, thinking that he killed Sue Ellen. She's clearly not at all upset that the little runt she raised is dead now, and that she gets to keep all the girl's stuff. John Henry shuts her down and seems like he cared, but then doesn't deny it when Amelia accuses him of hating Sue Ellen. She played with his heart, and he started to hate her for it. He couldn't bring himself to kill her, though. Ben drags Dixie to see Sheriff Jesse, and he seems afraid to tell him what he told Ben for some reason. Finally, Ben shakes it out of him. He never saw Adam kill her. He saw another man in the shadows when Adam and her were saying goodnight. Jesse says that Adam has to stay locked up, though, for his own good. The voters might kill him or something. I swear, this guy says voter so much that I feel like he's one of two old white men running for president. He goes to talk to Adam alone and gives him a gun. Adam wonders why he'd be that stupid, and he just tells Adam to wait for the deputy. He never really liked the unnamed guy much, so Adam can threaten him. It's fine. It's all good. Adam can have 8 hours a head start so long as he never gets caught. It's fine. Maybe change his name and move to San Francisco. He can call himself Trapper or something like that. The killer is waiting for Adam across the street when Adam breaks jail and shoots at him. Adam gets away. Adam heads over to John Henry's place, and they have an honest conversation where John tells him to look at Amelia for the killing. Yeah, she must have gone through a lot to fit into those clothes, because the guy Adam saw looked nothing like her. Seriously, who else would it be? Who else knew you'd be busting jail? Adam, you went to college. John feels like he owes Adam for not killing him in the duel, so he sends him on what he thinks is the right path, and then goes to tell Ben that Adam's out of jail. He's clearly not an evil man. Amelia is at home meeting with a mystery man who she realized was the killer and blackmailed him like she tried to do to John. She figured it out before Adam did. Ugh. This guy decided he won't let that stand and strangles Amelia. Adam gets there too late to save her, and Ben meets him up there having heard the screams and just been told by John where Adam might have been headed. Ben and Adam compare notes, and it finally clicks in Adam's mind who killed Sue Ellen. Jesse doesn't even give him 1 hour, let alone 8, before gathering up a posse. Adam agrees to meet Jesse at his place to give himself up, not telling Ben ahead of time what his suspicions are. He's armed, but keeps the gun hidden when Jesse arrives. There's a scarf that belonged to Sue Ellen and a pretty picture of her on the desk in the man's place. He draws on Adam, and Adam kills him. Everyone who was previously in the episode comes running, and they hear the shots, and Jesse confesses. He meant to kill Adam out of jealousy. Instead, he hit the woman he was infatuated with, then had to kill her sister when she found out. Adam leaves the scarf on the picture and walks away. I gotta be honest, even with all the other people set up as potential killers, I knew it was Jesse because of the scene where he threatened Amelia. If they had left that out, Jesse would have just looked like a weird old man who was crushing on her, and not the one who actually killed her. It was after he shot at Adam right when he skipped jail that I thought Adam should have figured it out. Buddy Epson is super creepy in this role. Faye Spain is totally believable as a young girl who is living the only way she knows how and using her beauty to make men fall for her, just hoping to one day find the one to take her out of that life. Jean Wills as a jealous older sister wanting to recapture her glory is totally believable. John Stephenson as John Henry has a fun rivalry with Adam that I wish we could have seen more of. The two have chemistry when competing with each other, and it might have been neat to see him in other episodes competing over women again, or business contracts, or anything just to have them sparring again. Malcolm Atterbury, who played Michael's father in Teenage Werewolf, is a convincing old drunk as Dixie. Hop Sing finally gets some airtime again, and his competition with Hoss over the chickens was adorable. It's always a joy to see him, especially during these episodes when he's not around that much. Hoss and Joe don't get much screen time in this one, but they brighten the scenes they do get. Joe wanting to rescue Adam is typical loyal Joe, and Hoss's comedy scene with the chickens is fun. We get a glimpse of Ben's implied younger, more impetuous self when dealing with Adam's young impetuousness. I enjoy seeing Adam acting like a young man who isn't thinking through every detail for once. Let him mess up. Let him have moments of puffing up his feathers with competition. Let him date the wrong girl simply because he likes having fun with her. He's always having to be serious and on top of things, but he's human. It's great to see that. In the past, I have given off the impression that I don't like Sue Ellen as a character. I do. And I think there's nothing wrong with her dating and even with her wanting to marry to gain a social advantage. In those days, that's all a woman could do to gain power. Marry it. By today's standards, there's nothing wrong with her having casual dates either. I, as any other fan, have the instinct to protect my boys, so that might be where someone gets the idea that I don't like her. I don't want Adam to be led on or marry someone who doesn't love him. That doesn't mean that I don't like her. I hurt when she dies because I know she was trying to be better. I hurt because she was raised by a sister who was obviously a raging narcissist. Men saw her beauty as something to possess. Even Adam, although he might not have realized it, saw an easy opening to kiss her and do whatever else they did in front of those horses, all because of her reputation and how she was taught to live her life. When she asks why he kissed her and he said because he wanted to, he meant no harm, but it just shows how she's viewed by everyone. The bed life made for her. If she'd been a proper lady, he would not have thought he could get away with even trying that. Even someone as compassionate as Ben judged her. Of course, we know that he was harsher in his scrutiny of her because of his son's investment. Nonetheless, he judged. She was an object of society at the mercy of the world's circumstances like all women at the time. The only difference was that her lot in life didn't afford her the kind of choices that it did for more privileged women. So her only choice was to try to find someone with better options who was willing to look beyond it and marry her. That's why she wanted to marry Adam. He didn't judge her. When he fought that duel for her, it was probably the first time she'd ever been defended in her life. He had the means to take care of her and the heart to want to do it. He might have even thought he loved her. So yeah, I love this one. I love the way Adam says that he doesn't think she's bad. Just the way Purnell delivers that line increases the temperature in the room. Even if you're not an Adam Gill, there are a few things to love here. The family dynamic continues to grow from here. It's one of my top picks for season 1.